NIO investors, get ready. I have a lot of good news for you because a lot of things are happening with the company right now. So first of all, HSBC has raised their target price, not only raised it, but actually doubled it. And there are a couple of funny things in their analyst note. We're going to talk about them today. Second of all, NIO has surpassed one of their major competitors. We are going to talk about that. Something is going on with the EV companies in China. NIO is not this small car company anymore. They are actually moving up the ranks. We'll discuss that. NIO Q3 deliveries numbers are here, and NIO management has delivered on their promises and actually delivered the number of cars they have promised. And by the end of the video, we are going to talk about weekly deliveries for NIO, and this is important. I will explain why. Right now we are in Q4 and we need to start calculating if NIO is going to reach 150,000 vehicles that they have promised. And on one hand, it looks like they cannot reach this number. On the other, it might seem that they actually have a possibility if we are looking at the latest trends. So today we are going to talk about all of this. Hello and welcome to the Market Monkey channel. My name is Vadim. Now, before we begin, guys, you know how every video I'm asking you to like this video and subscribe to our channel? The reason we are doing this is not only for fame and glory, but to get some kind of a signal from you. So we have noticed, for example, that NIO videos are getting a substantial amount of likes, and that's how we know to make more videos about NIO. So if you like this video, if you like this content, press a like, write a comment, subscribe to this channel, and we will know to make more content like this. Now back to NIO. Let's start with the mildly positive news. HSBC have published their new price target for NIO, and they almost doubled it. So their previous price target was $4.1 per share, and right now they have raised it to $7.8 per share. Now, the reasons that they gave to this huge price hike, usually we don't see like almost 100% price hikes. The reason for that is, of course, good deliveries of the company, L90 model, which is really good, ES8 model, which gets all the buzz. They have mentioned, and I haven't noticed that, but actually Onvo is right now 44% of all of NIO deliveries in the last quarter. So Onvo brand, which started, if you remember, last year really slow. Like there were a lot of problems with the brand, with the deliveries. Onvo CEO had resigned. Right now it's almost half of all of NIO deliveries. Now, one funny thing I have noticed in this note, and this is something that you will probably be impressed by. So during the ES8 launch, NIO management has said that they are targeting to deliver 40,000 vehicles, 40,000 ES8 vehicles until the end of this year. Now, just take a wild guess. How much time it took for NIO customers to buy these 40,000 vehicles? The answer is 9 minutes. So in 9 minutes, complete backlog of ES8 vehicles for NIO for this year was completely sold. And this is great, like the demand is here. It's actually so impressive. It kind of starting to remind me of these iPhone sales Apple used to have like a couple of years ago, when you saw a major queue of people waiting outside of Apple stores just waiting for a new model. That's how NIO operates right now. And the only thing NIO has to do is, well, to deliver. Speaking of deliveries, let's get to crazy good news. Now, we are monitoring Chinese EV market since about 2021. So we pretty much know all the companies there. We pretty much know all the trends, the financials of the company, and how companies are perceived. Now we have BYD, which is kind of a huge company which earns a lot of money, and we have a bunch of smaller growing companies. And we have seen Li and NIO and XPeng from years and years ago, and NIO was always the smallest company in this group. Like Li Auto was always the company which with the most ambitions and the company which grew up the most. XPeng was this kind of weird company which probably we always bet would get to profitability the fastest. And NIO was kind of weird because the management always came out with these crazy promises but never actually delivered on these promises. Now, if we take a look at the latest delivery numbers for Q3 and for September 2025, there is an amazing thing there. NIO had actually surpassed Li Auto in deliveries for September 2025. And if you look at the numbers for the month and for the quarter, you can see that, first of all, for the month, NIO is not that far from XPeng. And second of all, the differences between the deliveries of the companies are shrinking. So I would like to make a prediction. I think by the end of Q4 2025, NIO will officially surpass Li Auto in terms of deliveries. Now, if it goes on like that, maybe we will even see XPeng fall behind in 2026 as well. Now let's get to the Q3 numbers. Now, Q3 results, the official financial results, are something like 2 months ahead of us, but we already know the delivery numbers for the whole quarter. And NIO had delivered 87,071 vehicles. Now, NIO has guided to deliver between 87,000 and 91,000, and they have actually managed to deliver it according to their own guidance. Now, guys, for those of you who are new to all this NIO situation and the NIO company, like, you're probably like, yeah, okay, so the company guided and the company delivered according to guidance. This is a major problem with NIO management. They're always overpromising and under-delivering, and I have to be honest, I'm usually the first one to record the video and to criticize them for doing this stuff. So right now they finally delivered according to plan. This is major, at least from my standpoint, because it means that we can actually kind of start maybe trusting the guidance of the company. So when NIO management under-delivers, I'm the first one to criticize them. I think it's only fair that when they deliver, I'll be the first one to say, well done, good job, and I really hope they keep this going. Now, about these 87,000 vehicles in Q3, what does it mean? First of all, it's a record, which is good. Second of all, the deliveries are growing, which again is good. But the most important, most pressing question everyone is asking is, are they going to deliver 150,000 vehicles as they promised in Q4? Now, if you take a look at the jump that they need to make, it's huge. It's almost unbelievable that the company can ramp up their production by something like 60%, 70% in one quarter. And from the first kind of view, I would say no, they cannot deliver 150,000 vehicles. But there is one interesting thing. I suggest we take a look at the weekly deliveries. Now, if we take 150,000 and divide it by 13 weeks, which we have in Q4, we will get the number of 11,500 vehicles that NIO needs to deliver every single week. Now, Chinese, they have numbers registrations for new cars, which they publish every week. For the last week of September, NIO deliveries were 10,800 vehicles. So it's still less than 11,500, but it's not that far. So if NIO can ramp up their production, maybe, I don't know, I'm still skeptical, but maybe, I think the most important thing for all of NIO investors and people who are cheering for NIO to get there, to get to this point that they have promised, to watch any news of their new plant, the F3 plant. We have talked about this in the previous video. They are opening a new plant, and this plant is going to ramp up this production that they need so much. Hopefully this was interesting for you, this was informative. If it was, don't forget about the like, write us a comment, ask us questions, we are answering to everyone. Hopefully this was good for you. Thank you very much for your time, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.